Gamer, look at that timing, like a radio show.
Wow,
Like a
you're so
radio
ready.
show. Hello, everybody. Let me turn the camera on. Oh.
Welcome to the VGG radio show. They should have left us on radio, you know what I'm saying?
We got faces for radio. That's what they say.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Hello, everybody. You know what we forgot? They're over there somewhere. We forgot our badges. We should have been wearing our badges.
That's
To
okay.
start the stream.
They're nearby. They're keeping us company.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Would it be this PAX recap and highlight show if not something wild happening in the background?
There's some more sirens passing right now as we speak.
Yeah, we are lightly delayed because now what, 6, 7
at least
fire trucks have gone by. It's within 2 miles, the fire. I looked it up. But there is a large like park and some other stuff in between us and the fire, which is something that would catch fire. The wind is pushing away right now, so that's something. But obviously, if we suddenly just go offline, or I mean, you'll see us probably get up and like, huh? You know why?
You know why?
We have Phyllis's harness at the ready and everything, just in case. But yeah, PAX West!
Woo!
We're home, we're back. So much happened.
Many things happened there.
Mostly very good. Some weird. Nothing really bad.
The travel was weird occasionally, but I mean the show was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seattle was mostly kind to us. Except for the Jollibee situation, but you all know the resolution there. I forgot to put that in the slideshow, actually.
Oh, sad.
But I'll bring it up. I'll be able to bring it up. But yeah, so much happened just to give you. Yeah, I feel like getting held hostage on a bus classified as bad. We'll get to that. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Glory.
Our third PAX. Our third year going.
Yes.
Kind of feels like old. We kind of feel like old professionals now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I get on that show floor, and I'm like, welcome home. I know what I'm doing here, We're
like, so first time.
Yeah, we're coaching others through the PAX experience.
Yeah, people are learning from us. Someone complimented our like rechargeable fan situation this time around.
Yeah.
That was a really smart decision we started to make, investing in that and bringing that rather than having the little like paddle fans that some like studios hand out.
Just pushes the heat around.
Yeah.
But yeah, just to give you a quick rundown as to what to expect from this, we're gonna watch and pause and talk through a little slideshow that I just quickly like tossed videos and photos together into this thing that we'll just watch along with and give commentary on things that seem relevant. And then after that, we will give our top games of the show. Kind of similar to what you can expect from us from our like Summer Game Fest coverage, where we kind of just talk through a game. And then we will answer the questions that we got on Patreon. I think we had about 8 questions. Julie added one, so we have 9 questions, almost a top 10 from our patrons. If there are patrons in chat that want to ask a question, there you go. But you have to be a patron. No other question will be answered. And then we'll just kind of cue ourselves out. It's not going to be too long of a thing. What's up? It's me, a patron. Yeah, Fish had like 5 questions.
Fish asked absolutely everything on his mind, and we love that.
And yeah, this is kind of the kickoff of our PAX coverage, which includes articles, videos. So we're going to try to do some videos this year. Still kind of in the style of what we do here on stream for like SGF and stuff like that, where we're kind of just bantering while some footage plays. So like don't expect like the full Toa and the Guardians preview style. Exactly. Glory can. Glory is able.
Ask us anything, Glory.
I feel like others are gonna find a loophole and be like, "Hey, Glory, ask them if Um,
Glory's like charging for it.
yeah.
I'll ask you a question for $5.
But yeah. So let's buckle up. Let's get going. Let me turn the. Well, actually, I need to decide. No, we'll just be silent, I guess.
Whoa.
Well, because we have no. I mean, like we have music. Oh, I need to find music, I guess, because there's gonna be moments where I want to turn up the audio on the thing, but most of the time it's gonna be muted.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, do we play music? Do we just let it play? And it's complicated.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how many things you have in there that you want to turn up the sound on. I would imagine
Not a lot.
Not a lot. You could just like pause the music when those come up.
Okay. I'll just stay on Lena Rain and just let it play whatever it plays. But we'll start with the audio up. Let's go switch over. Bop, bop, bop. Beep, bop, bop.
I'm excited for this little like slideshow format. I feel like we showed like some pictures last year, but not necessarily like this.
Yeah, we did it the first year.
Oh, did we? I forgot.
Where it was like so scuffed where we like were going through the drive on stream. And so it was like really slow, and then like photos were in the wrong places and stuff. So at least this is like mildly curated, and it was like, there's like 5 pictures of the same booth, or what I mean. This is still like a little bit curated, yeah. And then having more of the videos were like kind of hard to play, and so this will make it a little easier, a little smoother.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to have a little sort of show and tell moment, and I feel like we, especially like starting last year with the new tech and the gimbal and stuff, like we started taking more video, just more photos and video each year, but haven't really done a whole lot with it. Like last year we did like some Instagram reels that just sort of use a few of them, so I was like, I'm kind of sad that all this didn't really go anywhere.
You're anti-GIF now on the site. But I remember I would
anti-GIF.
I would turn.
There were times where we were like using 4 GIFs per article, which is too much.
I was there was a time where I was using like some of the video of like you took of a booth and then turning that into a GIF and then putting that in. So we did that. So at least something there, right? But yeah, we kind of didn't use it as much. And then last year we tried to. Because in those daily videos, I was trying to, it was so hard to edit, but I was trying to like toss relevant footage and images where possible. And you can tell that my voice is still a little bit gone.
It's been so weird for me this week, like just the transition back into my normal life and like my day job, which like PAX is just such an overwhelming place to be, and like an environment I don't really thrive in, but also like kind of do. But it's just like hard to come back in my workplace. It's like so quiet all the time. It's like not a social place. So I'm like going from this weird state of like, oh, I was on for like 5 days straight and like having to, just strike up conversation with people, and then like going to this weird like quiet like office job. It feels really strange.
I mean, I think it's because we understand it, and it's like at least lightly exciting, like it's like you can get pushed through the like stressors, where it's like at work, it's like, I mean, especially right now, it's just so much stress, and so going to quiet stress too is like a whole different thing.
Now I'm in simmering stress mode, which sucks.
I mean, it kind of is for me too, like jarring, because like I'm going from the show floor noise chaos to even you out of the house, me just sitting here writing again, and that's even like throwing me off, and I'm like playing 5 videos and listening to music to try to simulate it again. Bring me back.
You act like you didn't do that before PAX.
I didn't. I'm doing it even more. I'm saying I'm multiple videos, multiple songs, you know?
He does that all the time.
No.
Don't let him lie to you.
But let's get going. And we have, I mean, you brought it up that we did the reels before. You kind of surprised me here as I was getting ready that you tossed together kind of an old school vibe last year, 2024, old school, 2024. Retro.
I did a throwback reel. I know everyone wants it.
Set to music with some little CapCut edits, you know what I mean? So let's start the slideshow, and that's where it's gonna start.
Here we go. Join us.
Let me make sure the audio is good. Should be.
I love to flip the egg.
Now hard cut.
Hard cut. Here we go.
What does it all mean? What is all that? You'll find out soon. This is kind of, I just realized too, this video will prove to be the like reveal of what we're covering.
Yeah.
No one really knows most of what we're covering.
That's true.
And we'll be able to talk through it because we're basically going to walk you through each day. What we did, what we saw, what we played. Some of it we'll just kind of, we're just going to kind of like let it play and briefly talk about. Some of it we're going to, hey,
Bradley, the hero.
The Seattle hero. The king of Seattle. Doesn't even live there, but.
Isn't that a board game?
King of Seattle. Yeah, King of Tokyo, but it's King of Seattle, and it's just Bradley.
Yeah. Stomping around.
What was I saying?
Walking through what we did, what we saw.
Yeah, some of it, well, we're not going to, spend too much time talking about because either we're writing something, we're putting a video together, or we're going to talk about later in this stream.
Yeah.
So, don't expect us to like get too in the weeds here, but we'll pause here and there to like talk about what's on the screen. But let's start with day 0. Day 0, of course, included, mute, because there's some travel sounds and stuff. Let me get the music going again. Okay. The bus. We took the bus. Bus to Seattle, the worst thing we've ever experienced. Started, we were separated immediately despite reserving seats. We were very upset about that. The first like hour, 2 hours of the bus, I was like, my knee was just digging into the seat in front of me. I tried to sit next to this old lady and she was like, I have both of these seats, thank you. And I was like, okay, cool. I also have 2 seats that I don't have right now, so.
That's how this bus works, apparently.
Oh, tiny us.
Whoa, we're so little.
These air conditioner, like these fans were nothing. But this bus actually had a better air conditioning overall, where the airflow of the entire bus was a little better.
Yeah.
And then of course there is the faded and much discussed hostage situation, which again,
not a hostage situation.
We'll talk about while we look at Lumen Field in Seattle. This is where the Seattle Seahawks will be playing this week, I assume. I don't know. They might not be at home. Chargers are playing right now. That's why I'm talking about football. But yeah, we were on the bus. We stopped in Olympia. Someone, I think that's the other thing. We never were told like full details. So this is kind of half hearsay where I'm just guessing. I think someone tried to steal something from the luggage because they stop the bus. And then the way they do it here, this bus in particular, is they just open up all the luggage areas and you just grab your luggage. Hell yeah, give lots of negative vibes to vaguely racist depiction of Native Americans. That's who we're playing this year, this year. Every day, yeah. Every week we're playing them.
365 days.
We are kind of wrecking shop. Like, not full dominating, but like we're in control of the game right now.
Nice.
But yeah,
up, as they say.
This person tried to steal something from the luggage. And then I guess she was insisting she was in the right because I saw her outside, like arguing with the bus driver and with like the local bus security people. And then at some point I was watching, I was like, something's happening out there. I was kept telling Julie, like, something's happening. I don't know what, but something's happening. I saw at one point the like security kind of walked away and the lady was just left alone, and she like didn't run full, but like she kind of like made her way to the front of the bus and got on the bus, and that was a mistake, I guess, because then the bus driver comes up and he goes, "Hey everybody, we're not in a hostage situation." So he started this and we're like, huh? The two people in front of us, there's like these two younger people, and they like look scared. Yeah, we're not in a hostage situation, but there's this lady at the front of the bus. We can't touch her. She can't do, like, he said she can't blink, and I can't, well, like, what, she can't touch you, I guess? I don't know. I guess she knows if she like takes a step too far, then it is a problem.
Maybe.
And he said, quote, like, she knows how to play the game. And we basically were stuck until the police arrived. Not a great situation for the Olympia police. Someone did say like it wasn't an urgent situation. We told the story to someone, they were like, well, it wasn't an urgent situation, not like they had to get there really fast, but it still took them like a half hour to show up. They show up, they calmly kind of look, they don't even get on the bus, they calmly talk into the bus to this person. She calmly gets off. They have a discussion outside. She walks away. We go. Strangest.
Just a weird little 30-minute mystery where we were just like speculating, like, what's actually happening right now.
Yeah, so weird. But anyways, we made it to Seattle eventually. And here again, you can see Lumen Field. I believe it's called Lumen Field, which is scary. Severance, huh?
I think it's spelled different.
Yeah, it is. And then I also have in here a photo of T-Mobile. Why is some of the... Oh, no, this is not a good sign. Some of these are tiny. T-Mobile Park, Oh. Pause the music. The stadium of the Seattle Mariners. Here's us, fresh off the bus. So on the first day, we picked up our badges. We did all the stuff we normally do. And we said, we have like so much time. Why don't we actually do the tourist thing, huh? And we decided to go down to the public market, the Pike Place public market. And it was really fun.
It was a cool time.
It's basically like a daily farmer's market that they do. There's just artists, food vendors, all kinds of stuff. That's our big tourist photo. We found the good sign. We had the other sign, and then this one we're like, wait, this is the good one. Kind of amazed this photo came out nice. Like because the sun was blaring on us, we couldn't see the screen. Kind of, you could see it kind of did like a halo effect on the phone, and it kind of works, you know. But yeah, we just kind of wandered through this for a bit. Came out the back, and we were able to see the famous what was that called again?
Ferris wheel.
Ferris wheel. Brain broke. And the Seattle Aquarium. Last of Us 2, anyone? Last of Us Part 2?
Bad stuff happens there.
Yeah, bad stuff does happen.
Don't go there. Bad stuff happens.
That was a nice little view of the pier and everything else that it has out there. Pike Place. There was even more going on down there. I wonder what that all was.
I don't know.
There's a bunch of people down there.
We'll have to find out next year.
And there's us. Wow.
Oh, wow. We're so cute.
I was so worried I was going to end up sunburned after this, and did not happen. So we're good. So looking at that photo, like this is all, or like the big chunk of this is just like hallways that you walk, and there's underground, there's upstairs, there's several layers to it. It's pretty wild. You can really get lost just like wandering around. Found a cool little comic book shop that we kind of spent some time browsing. Bought a board game while we were there. Card game, I should specify.
Yeah, there was like 3 levels. We were walking around for probably a good couple of hours and didn't even see everything.
Yeah, we were like, okay, we got to eat. Because at this point also, we should say, we had not eaten all day. We did not have time for breakfast in the morning, and then had to get our badges. And so it was like 4 or 5 when
close to 5 p.m.
when we finally ate. And we kind of stopped at wherever this place had these like boba slushies and food. So we stopped and we were like, we need a drink, and we like a good drink and some food. So we stopped and ate in front of the window where the sun was just blasting us again. This is the part where I was like, I'm gonna get it something. This is where I was scared, because we were just sitting in one spot just getting blasted.
It's always getting blasted.
Always getting blasted.
Yeah, the boba slush
was pretty good. Yeah,
food was very mid.
Yeah, the food was like, the way I put it was like, I noticed we finally stopped somewhere, and it was a Chinese place where everyone that worked there was white.
Yep.
The food was okay. There was something weird. There was like a weird taste I couldn't quite place about the fried rice specifically.
I think it was just really like black peppery.
Maybe.
That's what it was to me.
Okay. Yeah, it was strange, but it filled us. We ate it that night for dinner. Had some bites, finished our drinks. We did some little shopping. We got these 2 little guys.
What, am I not gonna do a little shopping?
The one on the left is Julie's. The one on the right is mine. Just my chill. I like my chilled guy wearing overalls.
Cute? They're so cute.
Julie's Jingles. You can see the little bell.
Yeah.
Very cute purchase. I like my little guy. There was a pigeon. There was a pigeon right outside our window. It felt like a blessing. Of course, our badges this year kind of like themed around the transit system, kind of like urban. Oh, cool guys.
Seattle graffiti.
Yeah, so 23 was like a VHS aesthetic, and then 24 I think was like a throwback PAX, like early PAX aesthetic, and then yeah, this year was Metro Station. Remember them?
Yeah.
Just a couple of cool guys, exactly. And that wraps up day 0.
Whoa. Day 1, here we go.
There we are, fresh-faced, ready.
We are so fresh-faced and ready. Hey, Melon.
Howdy, Melon. What was that?
Who was that?
Who was that? The thing I was gonna say was that as fun as that was, it didn't really factor in. I feel like this year was actually like the most okay I felt physically, which is weird, because last year, like we'd prepped hard, we'd like gone on long walks, I was doing ring fit, there you go, at the time, and still kind of got hurt. This year, yeah, we kind of pulled through in the end, but I was gonna say, day 0 adventuring added like a full day's worth of walking on our legs, that we were like, as soon as we got back to the hotel, I was like, why did we do that? We're fucked. We're so fucked. But then day 1, we're ready for the day, and our first thing on the agenda is to kind of get a sense of the scene, right? So we walk over here. There's 2 kind of wings to the Arch Expo Hall, which is where we primarily spend our time, because it is the video game hall. There are 2 buildings. Gun. Hello, Sam. Yeah, there are 2 buildings to the Seattle Convention Center, the Arch and the Summit. The Summit is where they now have the tabletop stuff. The first year we went, it was split between the 2, and that sucked so bad.
That was rough.
Because we were walking between the buildings left and right. It was the worst. So we kind of are happy that the Arch is where all the video game stuff is, except for the fact that the Summit is the much nicer building. And so it's kind of a bummer that like all the cool video games are in the old building.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is the kind of the big guns. Speaking of gun, big guns wing, right? We have this giant escape from Tarkov section. As Bradley points out, we have the Nintendo Switch 2 big footprint. They have Pokemon ZA on the here on the right, and on the left they have Kirby Air Riders.
And they also had a third presence with third-party titles.
Yeah, and they had like Hades 2, Silk Song, and a few other things there as well. So yeah, big footprint for them. I believe Crimson Desert was another big game over here. And just like kind of big names and kind of like businesses almost is kind of the vibe on this side. What's the other one? Behemoth from San Diego, shout out, always has a big footprint. They have arcade machines basically with their games playing on them that they set up kind of right in the entrance as well. The first thing we did was we checked out Little Nightmares 2 because we get a press hour. Three. Little Nightmares 3. We get a press hour. We get an hour of exclusive floor time before anyone else can get on the floor. And since we have so many appointments with indies and stuff, we were like, what do we do with our press hour? And we decided to go check out Little Nightmares 3. It was the first thing we did, and we played a lot of what you see in this trailer. For a bit, it kind of diverges, is what we played. I'd say my initial impression is just, hold on. Yeah, just gotta adjust. It's definitely a co-op game. The demo they had us play was single player with an AI partner. Do not play it that way. It is not nearly ideal. It's not nearly as fun. You're like calling out to your partner to do stuff and like waiting for them to trigger moves and stuff, and it was kind of complicated and weird. The thing I'll say just as a quick aside about this game is that it features combat for the first time in Little Nightmares, and that was kind of jarring. I was struggling with it way more than you were because I'm just not used to that with Little Nightmares. I was like, I'm used to running away, and so like there was this, and I was kind of confused about how you like eliminate these guys here in the beginning.
The only reason I wasn't confused is because they had asked at the start, like, have you played this? And I said no, and you said yes. And then, so they were like just preemptively coming over to me whenever something was happening.
Well, he was coming over to me too.
I don't know. It seemed like he was coming to me more, and he was like, you're going to want to do this.
I died like 5 times, okay. And he kept coming back to me because I kept dying, and he was like,
But he wasn't like paying attention to like what was your actual
so there's these like doll guys. You saw one jump down in the beginning of this trailer, and the way it works is you kind of have to work in tandem. It's co-op, right? So you have the one guy that has a bow and he shoots the head off of the doll, and then the other guy has a wrench. It was Low and Lone, right? Low and Lone, I think, were the two names.
Maybe.
And the wrench guy has to hit the head to finish off the enemy. I didn't realize that. I thought I had to hit the body. And then the body kills you.
Continues chasing
you.
And
the body kills you if you get too close. So I was like, this is so hard. How does this work? And I was like, oh, you have to hit the head? Oh my God. And then I like got through it so fast after that. And again, I think it's also just like having to like, I had to like trigger the guy to follow me and then be like, hey, AI, shoot this guy. Whereas if it was just us playing together, I'd be able to be like, hey, Julie, shoot that guy, hurry. And then I'll hit the guy, you know, like it just, the AI partner they tried, it's very,
it's just like a little slow too. Like I was playing the bow person who does that first, like shoots the head off. And then the body continues chasing you. And then you just kind of have to run around and like dodge it for like, I don't know, 8 to 10 seconds
while you're waiting for
you wait for the other one to be like, engage. It's my turn. So yeah, it was a little weird. It would have felt better for sure if we could play together.
I think it's gonna be good. It had the vibes. Like that was the one thing he was like, I think he told you because it was like you were saying like, oh, I've never played. Like really feel the vibes. Like he was like walk around and look at everything in the scene, you know. And they have a lot of that. I will say, as someone who knows kind of the nitty gritty going behind the scenes, that Tarsier Studios, who developed Little Nightmares 1 and 2 and are not developing this anymore, are making their own game, which is Reanimal, which is also a co-op horror platformer. Their presence is like, you can feel that it kind of feels like someone imitating Tarsier Studios more than it feels like Tarsier Studios is making this. Again, still could turn out pretty good, and I think the vibes are still there. And like there was like, you know, creepy crawly. There's, you know, a lot of the gluttonous people are back in this one. I think that was the other thing that like made it feel like, because they did that in Little Nightmares 1. I don't think there was so much of that gluttonous monster guys in 2, and then they're back in this one. You know, it kind of felt like they're doing an impression of Tarsier Studios, if that makes sense. But it was, again, I think it's fun. I think the co-op stuff, when done with a person, will be fun. Like the puzzles were interesting, and there were little things like, for me, I was not the bow guy. Yeah, pastiche, exactly, Bradley. Yeah, exactly. There you go. So that's one of those things I don't think people realize, right? And yeah, but they are making their own thing, which is why it's gonna be wild if they come out around the same time, like competing directly. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, there was like a puzzle where there was like a balloon in the air, and I was like, oh, clearly the bow and arrow guy can shoot that. But I stood in that room and it was like, because you push a button and you yelled to the guy to do something. He wasn't doing anything, and it's like, well, I want to shoot that, but you're not doing it. But if it was Julie, I'd be like, shoot that.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, your mileage will vary greatly, I feel like, with this one. Whereas Reanimal looks disgusting and horrifying already, and does not seem to be just rehashing. Because yeah, even the little doll kids, those are from 2. There's that school scene, and they're all full of doll kids. Like, you know, like it just feels like it's just like, remember this?
Greatest hits.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know, but that's what we did first, and then we went over to our first appointment, towards our first appointment. Yeah, it was still a fun co-op experience. We were getting just like some shots, so you can literally see devs are still setting up their stations here. This is the PAX Rising area, but our first appointment was actually over in the Serenity Forge booth. Who you will? Oh, actually, no, it wasn't. Yeah, no, it was here in PAX Rising. My bad. I thought so. This is our first appointment. This is coverage that will be coming. This is Fern is writing this. Did the play session here and the interview. This is No Stone Unturned. It is a detective game. It's kind of a lot of things, really. It's trying a lot, but it's primarily a detective game with a bunch of mini games. And the basic premise is taking the idea of why did the chicken cross the road, this basic joke, and turning it into a noir. So the chicken crosses the road and gets hit by a car, and you have to find out who killed him and why. It does not say blocks for boobies. We'll be getting to that game. Don't worry, Fish. It does not say blocks.
You wish it says blocks for boobies.
And there's other things. I don't want to talk too much about it because, like I said, we will have coverage. But there's little things like, what was it? The tortoise and the hare. Why does the tortoise win that race? Is there something? I'm already going like, what are you saying that the tortoise like drugged the hare or something? Who knows?
Who knows?
There's all kinds of little things. There's musicals. There's mini games galore. There's so many different mini games to it. I think in your session alone there was like 5 or 6 different kinds of things you're doing.
Yeah.
I'll give one teaser that I assume will be in your article of every time you meet a new person, the main character engages in a stare down with them, and that turns into a Dance Dance Revolution like minigame where you're just trying to establish dominance at first glance, and you can lose that, and then the character will just be like, I've dominated you, I'm in charge. And that does change. I that was the one thing I'll say before we move on, is the thing that was most intriguing is, for a lot of things, the developer, who's named Gareth, said you can fail and the game will keep going, which is really intriguing to me, to think about like how that manifests across the whole story. Like, can you just lose everything and just like still get to the end of the game? I mean, it does sound like that because the way the detective was described was kind of like someone who fails upward kind of thing, right? Like he doesn't really know what's going on. but he keeps solving it anyway. Do you want to say anything about it before?
Just that it's also really funny. That's sort of like the tone of it. You know, it's a noir, but it's really leaning into like silly vibes and like puns. Like there was one mini game where you can just like hit pun and like that's your move.
It was like a JRPG. Yeah, it was like an Undertale-esque battle.
So yeah, just it had really funny writing. It's got really like dramatic voice acting. It's gonna be a
That's
fun
right,
time.
fully voiced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Glory, I can see this one being one for you for sure.
And then so we went over it. Shout out to this. We didn't end up playing this. I guess this is, talk about that question. Sashimi Slayer. They had a station here. They had like a sword that like plastic sword that you held, and you would aim by tilting, and then you like slash shrimp out of the air or whatever by unsheathing and sheathing really fast your sword, and that would do the slash. And that was obviously a very popular. This is like first thing in the morning, not many people on the show floor, and it was packed the whole time.
Yeah. Unfortunately, did not get to hit that one.
Yeah.
It looked like a fun time. Yeah, No Stone Unturned does have a demo. I actually
it's slightly different.
I played the one on Steam too, yeah, and it's slightly different and it's slightly shorter. I think it's older. There's like a little less polish, but it still gives you a pretty good sense.
Hello, hey, wave to Epoch.
Hello.
Chat, tell Epoch that was for Epoch. So yeah, and after that, we went on to our next appointment, which was, again, the Serenity Forge booth. This was just, we had a little time ahead of our appointment. I hopped on this open demonstration for a game called Needy Streamer Overload. This is actually out. It's pretty intense. As it says, you're working with a needy streamer who she like it's your girlfriend. It's your partner. I guess it doesn't necessarily say like gendered. And like you are planning her streams for her, you're moderating her chat, but it's like it gets really dark really fast where it's like take your meds and like get really high before stream. It's yeah, it's been out for a while. I think this is maybe the Overload is the newer thing. And yeah, this has been out. I think they like added content or something. But yeah, it was a weird there's so many. What I love about PAX is like there's demos for games that you're like wild that this is being demoed on the show floor. At one point I had the opportunity to have sex with her and I said no, and then she got mad. So it's an odd game, and that led me into the perfect headspace for our next appointment, which was with Fractured Blooms, which is a game from Serenity Forge himself. Serenity Forge, of course, publishes a lot of games. I think Needy Streamer Overload was a published game from them. They've also published Doki Doki and a few other things, but Fractured Blooms they are developing it, and we actually got to sit down and chat with the founder of Serenity Forge, who is also the lead developer on the project. I kind of want to say as little as possible because one, I think, not to toot my own horn, I think the article is going to come out pretty good, and I
think that one's coming up first, right? So it'll be soon, and
I may be talking about it again later on in this recap. So, but we had a really great chat with Z at Serenity Forge. It was a great way to kick off the great 2 back-to-back interviews to kick off our time. And yeah, it's just all I'll say for now is one to watch.
Hell yeah.
We got a press exclusive poster, which sadly
pretty sick.
On the first day, it's like we got that and it's like, where do we put this? And we ended up having to fold it, which sucks, but at least it was just folded. Like we didn't have to do just one fold.
We'll try and straighten it out later.
But a good poster, yeah.
Yeah, pretty sick.
Then we had again some more time in between appointments. and we went over to Dread XP because they had just recently, like a couple days before this, announced Entropy, which is a new game in the Dread Delusion series.
Is it a series or it's in the world?
No, yeah, it's in the. I don't even know for sure if it's in the world, but it's in the same style. They call it Acid Punk. Dread Delusion is a really great game. We talked to the main guy behind that last year, James Ragg. Article is up on the site.
I'll pull it up for you.
And so I was so excited. This is in the same style, maybe the same world, and it is a full-on JRPG, like full-on PS1, PS2 era JRPG. It's the kind of game that James and the team really is passionate about. Dread Delusion was kind of like an Oblivion Morrowind like, in that it's an open world RPG, first person, but kind of more straightforward. It's a shorter game. It's a shorter thing. Entropy, yeah. I didn't get to play the full demo because we had to leave and get to our next appointment, but I'm really excited for this. There's formation stuff. There's recruiting people that you find in the world, and so your team is made up of all these different ragtag people, and they can die and leave your party permanently. And yeah,
I think you were like maybe 10 minutes in, and you said to me like, I could just sit here and play this for hours.
And it seems like it was the kind of demo where like it just kind of went. There was a person next to us who was like pretty far in already, it seemed like, and was still playing by the time I left. So I probably could have, honestly. But it was really cool. And I can't wait to see more. I hope that demo comes out because I want to play it. It's really early in development from what I understand, but definitely worth keeping an eye on. Super exciting. Just some more scene setting.
This was a pretty cool setup.
Yeah.
Neither of us are like Magic people really, but they had like a Daily Bugle newspaper over there that we picked up. And just this area was really cool to look at.
There was like little fake trees and stuff, and they had like the chessboard, like park chessboard setups, and that's where people were actually playing Magic against each other. Yeah, cool. we may have said this game has juice a lot of times during this. Our lunch, pizza, and then this was the big thing: is at Pike Place there's Beecher's mac and cheese. I once said I need to try it. They had it at the convention center. It was delicious. So we don't have any footage of the booth here.
Oops.
But our next appointment was Stars of Icarus, which is obviously a big game for me and Fish. We loved Guns of Icarus Online, played that all those years ago, and like honestly, and this is another article that is done, and will be edited. Like I think it's the origin of us having passion for games like Lethal and Repo, because those are so co-op driven experiences. We got to talk with Howard Sau, who's the team lead over at Muse Games. We got to play around. Little overwhelming and a lot to take in when you play it. So not a lot of like the impressions I have in the article are kind of like, I kind of didn't know what was going on, but excited by the potential of it. But it was really cool. They had a tiny little booth with like 6 computers all running the game to play together. I was like, ambitious to, you need like a lot of those filled to really properly demo it. But article coming, so keep an eye out. It was cool to be able to tell someone like, hey, we love your game. It's a key part of my like youth. Thank you. And he was so excited. He was like, it felt like after I told him that, he was like, oh, okay, you get it. Cool. I don't have to like fully explain what's going on here.
There was another person on their team who like started like
around the time.
Yeah. Like when you were a kid playing this, like got involved in the community and is now like on the team.
Yeah. It's his baby is how it was told to us. So yeah, super excited for that. Keep an eye out for the article. Then we I think that was it for the day. Like we only had a few appointments that day, so then we kind of wandered. We did that on purpose. I won't say much more because it's an answer to a question we have coming up. But already been dipped in the Icarus sauce. Exactly. We stopped and played Truckful, which you may have seen before. It's this game where you kind of pack the back of your truck and drive it around town without letting things fall out the back. It kind of feels like it's rage bait a little bit, like it's purposely meant to be hard, because Julie had issues with it, and then I took over, and then at one point you're like driving down the road at night and there's a demon truck following you, and that was the hardest thing I've ever done.
He ran it like what, 8 times?
There was I eventually had to just stop because there was like a crowd kind of wanting to check it out, and I was like, also, I don't want to just sit here and die 15 times while there's people watching.
Yeah, eventually people came over and were like crowded behind him, and we're being like, ooh, so close.
Yeah, I was like,
ooh, no.
It's so hard. The truck is like wibbly wobbly, and it takes a second to get going and everything else. And
the roads are so curvy. Yeah. It's like genuinely difficult.
Yeah.
Like I kind of got that sense seeing trailers and stuff. Like obviously the physics-based stuff, like stuff falling out of your truck bed, like it's supposed to be a little frustrating. But I was like, holy moly! Like I don't know if I can do this. Yeah.
And then we wandered and saw this, and I said, "Oh God, we're stopping right now."
Yeah, we walked over, and it was just like singing into our ears.
I was like, "Okay, we're stopping and playing this right now," which was Bubsy 4D. There was 2 stations with it, only one person on each station, not much of a line. So I was like, "Let's park. We have time." And again, I don't want to say too much because this may come up later on in this show we got going here. But I played Bubsy 4D. We had a really great chat with a producer over at Atari who is publishing this. Just stay tuned on that one. Just that's all I'll say. It's
our post day 1 photo.
I think my legs are literally up on an ottoman in this photo. I'm out. Julie is out. But representing something, our merch, our stuff that we bought here on the first day. This is from a I think it was like Chinese and Taiwanese artist, Carepaño, I believe is the name. And yeah, this yellow hat, which it's back there. It says that's okay. It says your big dreams were not meant for this small world. Is it Carepango? Which one is it? Oh, it's Carepango. And I thought that was a really cute hat. And then Julie got this little gremlin guy. There was also a cute little fish one.
I know. I wanted to. I'm gonna send
link
it
that.
to you. Or should I? Do you want me to send it in the?
You can just link in. People can look at it.
I wanted to show some of you. There's a fish one that was really cute.
Yeah, that was really
those
cute.
Bucket hats. I kind of wanted that one too. I was like between those two, but.
So we bought.
Very cute.
Bought those cute little hats. We also bought. I don't know if there's a photo. I think there is. We also bought from them this keychain that was Julie's little.
My savior, my hero.
Julie's little stim all throughout the show.
It's so clicky.
Click it in the.
It's so clicky.
It's so nice. Every time we were just walking, I would be hearing clicking very faintly. It's really loud on the show floor, so it's not like obvious, but
that was the best part. I was like, I can just do this. No one can even hear it. It doesn't even matter.
So that was really cool. And then we saw I Am 8-Bit was here, and yeah, as I told the person that was doing the selling, gonna build you a keyboard.
God. That's a whole thing.
As I told the person that was doing the selling, like, this is a place that me and Fern like buy each other gifts from all the time. So we were like, okay, we gotta stop. And we were kind of just looking, and then eventually it was like, oh, we're buying stuff, I guess. And what we bought is really exciting. We bought, wait for it, the Toem vinyl.
It's so good.
And the Melatonin vinyl.
It's so good.
And the Oh Dear Diner thermos fish. Don't yell at me. They were like they were talking about the fact. So basically what happened was, this is a hard to find thing. They had people that bought over the limit of what it was supposed to be 1 per purchase online, and some people bought more than that. And so what they did was they canceled all the extra orders, and they had that stock there. And so they're like, we're trying to beat back against resellers and stuff. Mm-hmm. And they were selling the Oh Dear Diner thermoses. They were sold out before the end of the show. and it's a functional. I don't know the brand. Wait, maybe it's on the bottom. It's actually right. It's right behind your head.
Sorry.
ARAM, AIRAM. It's like a fully functional, really good thermos where it's got it's made in the kind of the traditional style of thermos, which means it's got a inner layer of glass, which is really fascinating. And yeah, it's a fully functional. It's not like a prop like this. You could use this thermos, which is really cool.
Pretty sick.
And then these were the fun little goodies that Serenity Forge hooked us up with. These are like all the Doki Doki characters as, you know, famous Hollywood horrors, you know, Cthulhu, Headless Horseman. Oh,
we haven't even hit that game yet.
Why is that in day one then? We'll come back.
We might have played the game, but I downloaded the photos from you later, so they're probably not like in the same area.
Okay, well, we'll wait for the game to come up, but we played a game called Roller Girl, which you'll hear more about. And after we played, that's one actually maybe to come back and add, even though I'm not remembering their name right now. We played Roller Girl, and afterwards, after just playing, and it was not an appointment, it was just we came up and we were like, oh, this looks so good. We just we're chatting with the lead artist on the character artist on the project.
Rings.
Thank you. Rings.
Thanks for lurking.
And we were just having a really nice conversation with them, and yeah, like we played the demo. They said we have a gift for you, and then came up with these little finger roller blades, and here's Julie showcasing their sick moves. Watch this. Ready? There's none of the video. Did you like delete those? They're not in the.
I don't know. I thought I took some videos.
If Roller Girl's not in here, well, I'll have to talk about it later. But here's day 2. Going into day 2, felt pretty good. Filled. Day 2. So Critical Reflex might have had the most
juice of all.
The best bang for buck is how I'm gonna address it. We're really not gonna talk too much about it here because this is gonna be one that we do a video for, so it's really gonna be like repeating ourselves. But we were scheduled to check out Milizione, which is the game where a giant cop watches over you in the city, and you'll see that in this footage. And we were checking out a game called Drowned Lake, which is a kind of horror fishing-esque experience where you're going through a town, and it's very it's more about the eerie vibe than anything else. Again, I don't want to talk too much about these, but what I will say about Critical Reflex is we couldn't stop coming back. So the way their demo stations worked, they had 8 or 9 games that you can just toggle between in their demo list. Here's Drowned Lake. And so you could sit at the station and play 8 games. The one thing, if you can tell from this photo, the table was really low.
Can we just harp on this for a minute?
It was very low.
It was so low. I'm shorter. I was trying to put one foot back, spread my legs wide so my center of gravity was lower so I could reach down and not be breaking my back.
You can see I'm literally hunched over and if I stood up straight to straighten out my back, I had to be reaching all the way down to reach the keyboard.
And it strains your wrist to have
yeah.
You had your arm flexed.
So if there's anything I would tell them for next year is make the desks a little higher.
Either higher or seats. There were no seats.
Yeah, there was no seats. That was the problem.
Yeah.
It feels like maybe they were expecting seats. Maybe. And they ran out.
But it was oh my god, I want to keep coming back here, but it hurts so bad. I need to take breaks from here.
Yeah. You can see in the back there that they're the publishers of some really intense and exciting games. The people next to us are playing No, I'm Not Human, which is the game where you're running this little house at the end of the world, and there's these monsters that are trying to come in, and they knock on your door, and you have to keep an eye on them. It's a whole thing. Buckshot roulette, of course, big deal. They had a physical buckshot roulette table where you could play buckshot roulette with your friends with a plastic shotgun. This is also, I mean, we'll get to it later, but we kind of lost our minds audio wise. And we'll get into it later, but there's another, like, this particular zone had the Tanuki Depon trailer playing on the TV. And that song goes like Tanuki, Tanuki, Tanuki. And then like a Japanese voice like Tanuki Depon. And then there's a lot of other noises that are happening in this area that like we kind of lost our minds a little bit over here. Yeah, we came back here like 15 times. Eclipsium, obviously, Fish, you could see that there. That's a game that, you know, me and Fish are both pretty hyped for. So we had an appointment there. Didn't the person we were gonna chat with, sadly, I think they got sick and they didn't come to PAX. So we didn't have an interview, but we did come back there 15 times. So that tells you something. Next thing, we walked up to the Ocean Drive area because another game that we wanted to check out was God Save Birmingham. We didn't really have time to fit it into our schedule, but we really wanted to play. We just kind of walk up and I'm like, oh man, I wonder how this is working, because they had like all around this cube, right, is they have demo stations, and there was like available ones right in front of us. And I was like, oh no, I think there's like a line. I think there's people waiting and then they get to these stations. And then this person walks up and he's like, you want to check out God Save Birmingham? And I was like, yeah.
Boy, do I.
He saw that we were media. He could see our media badges and was like, all right, let me stay right here. I'm going to check if we have availability in our media section. And I was like, okay. Walks away, comes back, and goes, yeah, you guys are going to get in next. Comes over, sits us down, pulls a chair out for Julie. Is like, here you go. Here's a chair for you. And then we're waiting for this demo to free up, and he's just like, so what's up? How you guys doing? We just chat with him. We tell him the bus story, and he's like fascinated by that. And then the demo station opens up. So God Save Birmingham is I found out through talking to the Ocean Drive does it so well. They have dedicated stations. They have these beautiful chairs. And they also have like a dedicated staffer who's just there like, yeah, okay, let's talk about the game. And so
you basically got an interview while you were playing.
It wasn't like a formal interview. It was a lot of like, you know, just like, okay, what about this? What about this? And yeah, like had answers for all of it. And yeah, God Save Birmingham is basically Project Zomboid, full 3D, Kingdom Come Deliverance meets Project Zomboid is kind of the way it is. You're in medieval times, zombie outbreak happens, and you just have to survive. So it's not like a narrative experience. It's more of a just pure survival kind of crafting and make it through as long as you can kind of game. Very early, so there's a lot of like things they want to implement that are not quite implemented yet. But the big push in this game is there's a lot of physics stuff that happens in this game. So like you can pick up like wooden chairs and like knock them around and like knock zombies over with them. And at one point, like the zombie's head got stuck in the chair and was like, he couldn't get up. And I was like, this is wild. And, you know, I have a pitchfork and you're like targeting specific body parts and all kinds of things. And so it's like the really cool foundation. Want to see like how they flesh it out, but they are going to be working on it. I believe they're going to do some sort of early access eventually. And yeah, like there's not a lot of crafting in this demo. It was kind of interesting because it was just like go do whatever you want. And so it was just me free to run around and experiment with stuff. There was a lot of opening doors, seeing like 50 zombies in a room, closing that door. And it was really cool that they made the time for us to hop in and check it out, and it was really nice.
Shout out to them for just like the hospitality.
Yeah, they were like, do you need a water?
They have the comfy chairs. They like offer you water. They like pull out the extra chair from like inside their little square. Yeah. I was like, dang, they're really doing it up here.
They had, you know, I hope they were okay. We had a person that was chatting with us. At one point, they said, "I'll be right back," and then they got up and walked away. And then another person came. I was like, "All right, I'm gonna be your person for the rest of your demo here. They're just not. They're feeling a little sick, you know." And I was like, "Oh my god, like, I hope they're okay." Yeah. But like even that, right? It's like clockwork. Like just someone's like, "All right, I'm your person now. Hello." Yeah, really, we met with them the first year. We didn't meet them last year, and yeah, just a really good operation over there. Yeah. From the guy being like, media badge, you want to check out this game? All the way to the end. We went to get lunch at this point on day 2. There's at the entrance that we most often took. There was a group of people in robes inviting you to sacrifice your friends. For their blood, for the game Blood of Dawnwalker, which is a vampire game that is coming out soon, and it does look really exciting. But we just wanted to take a picture of this cool little setup, and then yeah, like I said, there was a fun little experience where every time you walked in, they're like, "Come sacrifice your friends."
It's too bad fish wasn't there. I would have done it.
Oh yeah, we would have 100% put fish in that.
Yeah.
That big old pot. I will take this moment to vent about something else. So at this entrance that we normally always take, this is like where the media, we're at this, there's like a further away entrance from the public area, right? And that's where we're invited to come into the convention center. When we do the media hour, we go up this escalator and that's where we go. And every other day we go up this entrance. On the second day, there was this woman, an older woman, who was there last year and did this to us last year as well. Stops us at the escalators. Goes, "No, this is not your entrance." And we're both like, "We have an appointment like right at 10, right when the show opens. And this is
the media.
This is where we enter. This is why do we have this door over here if we're then not allowed to go up here?" And meanwhile, she's letting like exhibitors up. And she goes, "Oh no, this is the ADA entrance, and you have to wait 15 minutes for ADA."
Or go get in the public line, which is like circles around the building,
and
out the
is
door.
Outside.
Yeah.
And we're both like, and one, we're trying to figure out how it's the ADA entrance. The elevators are behind her. Oh, Matt's ready to be sacrificed. The elevators are behind this area. There's no one here. That's the other thing. It's like, it's one thing if I see like a line of people trying to get up. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. My bad. And so we're just like, and again, she's letting exhibitors go by. And I'm like, we have an appointment. And she's like, call them and you can blame me if you want. And we were baffled. So that was like a horrible way to start our day.
Yeah. So
and it's so frustrating because it's happened twice now, 2 years in a row, on the second day specifically. And there's no like mention of that. There's no like, that's the main thing for us. If it was communicated to us, we would, okay, cool, we know. But there's no mention.
You would think they would like tell that to media.
Media don't use that entrance for the 15th. Yeah.
Don't make appointments like first thing in the morning because you can't use that entrance, or yeah.
And
but there's nothing like that, so.
Yeah, luckily we weren't the only ones too. Like there was some content creator badges next to us, and they were also like, okay. So they were also like frustrated. But you know, PAX, can you let us know what's going on there? Because that really puts a damper on a lot of things on that day. But we made it through. Just wanted to take the minute to publicly put that out there.
PAX, please.
Hi, hey, Sassy. We got our coffees, our second coffees. Oh, this is second coffees that day. Oh no. Yeah, it is.
Yep.
And
at the hotel first.
At PAX comments on this. Yeah, we were doing a public call out, Sassy.
Yeah, we were like, should we like email somebody about this?
Should we go to the info booth? But like,
what do we do?
We didn't have time, and
it's so weird.
And it also feels, I don't want to like sound like I'm like a Karen, right? Like I don't want to come up and be like, they didn't let me in my special entrance.
But it is like, what is that for? And why is it like one day?
It's only on that day. And again, saying it's an ADA entrance since it's the escalators and stairs when the elevators are back there, and there's specifically like an ADA elevator back there, and saying like, no, you can't, while also letting exhibitors up. Like,
it's just so strange.
How is the one exhibitor okay, but the two of us, oh, that's too much. And again, no one around. There's no one else going up these escalators. So it's like,
it's just weird. It's something that I'm like, if you have a reason, cool.
Tell me.
Let us know so we don't like show up late to an appointment.
Yeah, and we were like 15 minutes late. So that was fun.
Yeah, like 10 minutes.
Yeah. It was just annoying, and the appointment was a good one. Exciting one.
Yeah.
And so that was annoying. This is us post lunch, feeling that you could see the malaise has kind of come over our eyes. So the next thing we had, exactly that was the thing, is we're working the show. We're working, and you're stopping us from working. You're saying get in the public line, which is out the door. We ended up. I just saw Matt's. What will you do if the penny goes away? It's just an arcade expo. We went to the public line and just cut, even though we didn't really want to. But like at the same time, I was like, I guess it doesn't really matter because we're all just going to the same place, and it's not like
they're in a rush.
Yeah,
like the public.
Yeah. Because for a minute we thought we'd had to go all the way outside, go all the back of the line, and make our way in.
I know you were starting to. I was like, I'm getting in, bro. I'm getting in the flow.
At one point, I think someone walked by us and was like, "Just get in the line, dude." Chargers touchdown. Sorry.
Nice.
So our next appointment, this was really exciting for us because, if you don't remember from Summer Game Fest, we really were excited about Ambrosia Sky. Ambrosia Sky being the sci-fi clean 'em up is how they described it, where you are a person heading to a space station and cleaning up the fungal growth that has come across this land, and putting the people that have died on the space station to rest. We wrote about it already once before. We played the demo, so we were not here to play the demo. We were actually here to talk with the studio head, Joel Burgess, which was a really fun conversation. It was like a 30-minute interview. It was probably our longest one of the show, and it was a really, it kind of, it's first person, so you kind of get that Power Wash vibe a little more. But it's also got like immersive sim puzzle solving stuff going on, which is really cool, where you have to use the fungus to power certain station or systems on the station and stuff, to unlock doors and stuff like that, which is really cool. And we got to chat with Joel Burgess, and so we take this photo, and I go, Julie, is that person Remy from Sunset Visitor, the one of the heads behind our game of the year last year, 1,000 times was this? And Julie goes, maybe. And we both are trying to figure out if it's Remy. Eventually, the way we're able to identify if this is Remy is via the other person that's with Remy, which is Natalie Flores, who is a former, but a journalist, and also the community manager now. That's why I say the community manager now at Sunset Visitor. And we're able to be I think that is. And so then I have to awkwardly, I put on my big boy pants.
He was so brave. Everybody please clap. He was so brave.
I put on my big boy pants and I walked up and said, "Excuse me, are you Remy?" And Remy looks at me, and this is the part where I die inside. Remy looks at me blankly for a second and is just looking confused. And then goes,
we're just oh no.
Yes. And I go, oh my God. They go, oh, Jesus Christ. Oh. And I go, hi, I'm Nate, and this is Julie. We're with Video Games Are Good. And Remy goes, oh my gosh. And it's so excited. And it's oh, it's so great to meet you. And, we just, start talking. We just hang out for a little bit, just saying, thank you so much for the game. It's so amazing. And he's saying, thank you for, for doing what you do to support, video games and indie games. And yeah, we just chat for a bit. And I eventually am like, can we take a picture? And so I, just before this trip, discovered how to turn on like the motion picture thing on my phone, where where you take a picture and it does like record like a little clip of right before the picture. If you watch this motion picture, shaky hand mate, bringing the camera up to take this photo. But yeah, it was really cool to just stumble into someone who made a game that's really important to both of us. And Natalie is Natalie's article is the reason you were like, okay, let's do it, let's play. Because I'd been kind of hearing murmurs, and I was like, there's this game, it might be really cool.
Yeah.
Then you read Natalie's article about the game, and said, oh, we gotta play this.
It was like on our radar from Ludonarracon right before, right? And then I read Natalie's piece in Paste magazine, I think it was, and I was like, I'm gonna buy this right now. And we're gonna play it. I think we played it like the next day we started.
Yeah. And so it's just really cool to just stumble on Remy. Yeah, we gotta love the shake. And it was really cool. And we ran into Remy a few more times after that, like throughout the show. Just but it was really cool. And it was cool to share just like thank you. Like getting the thank you back felt really nice too,
Why?
So that was fun. Wrapped up the day with our final appointment of the day, Never's End. Again, we don't want to say too much, but it is a turn-based tactics game where you use this really like hard magic. So it's kind of like the Brandon Sanderson books form of doing magic, which is, you don't have a fireball spell, you have a heat spell where you get to take and then place heat somewhere else. And there's the cool thing about this game is it's got a fully like simulated world. So you're dealing with temperature, you're dealing with the humidity, you're dealing with, and it's just kind of like see what happens. There were some cool scenarios. Again, I want to save for the article that I ran into, but it was a really cool game. Good little interview to close out the day, and keep an eye out for Never's End. Oh, sound on, future.
Whoa, that's so smart. You're so smart.
Thanks.
Look at him.
So you may have seen this if you keep an eye on our Blue Sky or on our Discord, but it was after this we just kind of also did the wander around thing, right? And we're just trying to like get a lay of the land still. This is only the second day, so still trying to figure some stuff out. Thanks, Pass Nate. And eventually we were like hearing throughout the few days, I had been hearing something and I'd be like, what is that? And Julia's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, what do you mean? You can't hear that? And she was like, I don't know. And eventually we start walking in this direction and I'm like, it's that, what is that? And then we hear like tangentially from other people. Yeah, I had the update. You're still a version behind.
Y'all, it's incredible what I can like tune out and what I can get used to in my environment, because it's just
when you see what this is, you're gonna be like, how did someone not hear this? And we're over by the Borderlands booth, and I'll just let the clip play first.
Let's let it speak for itself, shall we?
Enjoy.
Oh yeah, we did.
So to promote Borderlands 4, so you can see over here is just their big booth, right? Where they have a million demo stations playing the game, right? I could turn, that's all you really needed to hear. Because I don't think that any of the other clips have it, besides that one.
There was one longer clip. I don't know if you put it in.
I don't think it has
it did.
Crashing. Okay. Well, I'll try. But you could see over here, this is a open air, free range rage room, rec room, where people were lining up, putting on suits, and the Borderlands people were putting up things for them to break, and they were breaking it. Open air.
Just center of the room.
No soundproofing. No, it's not. No soundproofing whatsoever. So you're just walking around the show floor, just hearing crashing randomly and all throughout the show. So this is the longer. Okay, so. Oh, there's a cute little moment here. Tanjiro facing off against Master Chief. There's just the one crash, see? And then this is what it looks like inside. You see they're like putting on their suits and stuff. And that was horrible because you're going and you're literally interviewing with devs and you're talking to them and you're going, and you're having that in your audio. You're literally, I was playing at the Critical Reflex booth, which, so remember how I said there's a soundscape thing with the Critical Reflex booth? So I have Tanuki, and then the buckshot roulette music playing off to the side. And it was just like, how are these people not losing their minds?
They probably were.
And I actually went over to someone towards the end of the show that we were at the limited run booth checking that out. There'll be photos in here. And I was like, how are you guys dealing with this? And he goes like, you know what? Not great. Day one, we're setting up. We don't know who's around us. We don't know what they're doing. I'm sitting in the back. Like they have, each booth kind of has like a little area for the staff to kind of like get off the floor. And so he's like, I'm sitting in there, like getting ready for some like interviews. And then I start hearing loud crashing. I run out of the booth because I think something is like something bad is, someone is like destroying a computer at a station or something, and like runs out and is like, oh, it's just a rage room. And then he brings up very valid things. You know, at the time, I think the reason we first started to realize what it was when we were at the Serenity Forge booth. Someone came up and talked to Z there, and they had their like child, and they were like, yeah, we were walking by the Borderlands area, and our kid was freaking out, started crying. And then with the guy we were talking to at Limited Run was like, yeah, I mean, people with PTSD, right? Well, of all kinds, right? Like not only like from like war, but like domestic abuse or whatever it could be. You're probably getting triggered by that. Therapy dogs and service animals.
Yeah, there are plenty of like folks walking around with service animals in there.
And there's literally no effort to soundproof. It is fully, you can see that in the photos and the shot of it towards the end. It's just open air. Like it's just open. It's just open. And we were just like, what the fuck? How many people said yes to this? You know what I mean? And so, yeah, it was definitely the talk of the show for us. Cause yeah, we would just, PAX, you kind of comment. We came out and we were just like, there would be days where, again, Julie was able to tune it out for some days. Cause I'd be walking around and be like, oh, I'm not hearing it. And then literally, as I would be like, oh, I am, I'm not hearing it. It would start again. And I would start hearing it. I'm like, oh, there it is. Just kidding. And it was just so weird.
I don't think I fully tuned it out. I think just like,
you got used to it.
Or like, I don't know. We weren't as close to it at the start, you know?
Yeah.
We were on the other side of the room, so I was able to tune it out over there.
Yeah, I mean, I joked, Bradley, similar to what you're saying there. I joked that like I kind of want to go into the rage room to break something because I'm mad at the rage room.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah, and I mean, lots of people were talking about how it was hurting their interviews with other press, you know, all kinds of stuff. It was just how did they make this decision?
That's another one of those things where it's like, you probably should have communicated this in advance at the very least, but probably reassessed more thoughtfully.
You could have done it outside.
You could have done it anywhere. Like in the summit. They have 2 buildings worth of space. I know they wanted it there because they want people to walk by and be like, oh, they're doing this. Like, but then everyone else suffers. Like the whole experience suffers. Especially, I just feel bad for like, you know, people that are they're like really trying to, you know, get necessary eyes on their game, like media and just trying to show it to people generally. And it's like, how do you do that?
Critical Reflex, and then a company you'll hear us talk about later, Black Lantern Collective, were right next to it, and they were both showing atmospheric horror things. So as I played Drown Lake, I'm sitting here, and this was the demo where I'm sitting here, I have my headphones on, my hands reaching to the floor, and I can feel the impact of these hits on the desk, literally, and I'm hearing the sound while I'm like trying to get in the mood of this horror game. And it was just like, it was so wild that it kept, and then you kept being like, maybe it's just not going to keep happening in the next few days. And it just kept happening.
Yeah.
So nuts time. After that, we stopped by briefly and checked out this game called Stardust Frontier, which, you know, for us Jackbox gamers is a pretty cool game. It's a little roguelike WarioWare meets Jackbox, where you play on your phone and you target different subsystems on this enemy robot, and then as you execute your attacks, you have to play little mini games. And so you have to like I don't know if it has it in here, but you have to like attach, kind of like in Among Us, right, where you attach the wires. You gotta like
colors,
move like a little tank across a field. You gotta like, there's unscrew screws. You gotta use you have to move your phone around and shoot at asteroids, which is a really cool one. And do these little battles as you go. And then there's even a if anyone remembers the game Space Team. You remember we used to play Space Team, where there's an aspect where at any point, and you can see some of the mini games, it'll flash on your screen, hey, Julie's reactor is about to overload. And so you have to go, Julie, your reactor. And then you press and hold the thing in the upper right there to go into another mini game, which that was the only thing I was like iffy about with this game. Is that mini game was very confusing in the moment. I'm sure like if I was able to properly watch a tutorial or whatever, it'll be a lot easier. But in that demo station, it was very confusing. But yeah, no, it's such a cool game. And yeah, you're playing with 4 other people. You're all a different part of the ship, of the robot. So I think I was like one of the arms. You were like the legs, or were you the other arm?
I was an arm, yeah.
And then yeah, someone's the legs, someone's the chest. And yeah, you're all working together, and you target different bits, and you communicate out loud like, hey, I'm going to target the arm, so I got that covered. You want to do this, you want to do that. Really cool little game. We got an email about that, and it was one of those like, oh, I do want to check that out. Really love the aesthetic as well. Good pixel art. Definitely got to let Epoch know about this one. So this we're going to be cryptic about, because we're going to come back and talk about this, but
we got mail.
We got offered mail, and we read the mail, and we did stuff.
And something happened.
Something exciting, and something may happen here in the future, if you recall, towards the end of our conversation.
Do I recall?
Let me mute to be even more cryptic.
Yeah.
So mail may be happening here. But we'll get to that later. Next, we went over to Easebrid Games.
Did not get pictures of the game we played here.
Because we were in this, you can see in the store, we were in this private little press area, which was so a delight. It was
very
a couch.
Cozy. Couch in there, yeah. Like a little living room. It was delightful.
We played Love Eternal this year. They just announced a big delay for Demon School, so that was kind of like on the back burner, but they had it playable. Love Eternal is a horror platformer, but it's not like Little Nightmares where it's like slow and moody, right? It is a high intense, high octane platform. They let me know, which was really cool, because it was taking me there, that it's inspired by a lot of Flash platformers, like old school ones, games like Super Meat Boy, all that kind of stuff. The game, the look of the game itself reminds me of I Want to Be the Guy, actually, and it was really smooth. It was really fun. I will say that the person we were chatting with said I beat the demo faster than any media up to that point. Just want to put that out there. Just want to put that. Said, did you just do that first try? And I said, yeah, you know, on like some of the areas, you know, like, yeah, you know, what can I say? Just me, just little old me. I said, I gotta do it right for media. You know, people think media is like the they're like shit at games. You know, I gotta come correct for the media.
Yeah,
that's why I did that this day. Really fun chat. Really exciting game. Again, coverage coming. Don't want to say too much. Exciting. There's their booth. Yeah, they have a big old CRT. It's so interesting to see like different developers' footprint change over the years. Where Eastbridge used to, or the first year, not used to, but the first year we went, Eastbridge had a giant footprint. They had school desks, they had the CRT, they had big standees, they had all these things to really sell the vibe of Demon School. And then this year it's like they're chairs and they got 2 stations, you know, like, and it's because they this is not the big push right now for them. It's going to be a little later. And so it is interesting to see how different people change up their footprint on the floor. Yeah. So at the end of this day, we went back to Critical Reflex because we could not seen it coming. We could not stop going back there. I know you might be talking about this one later.
I might be.
So we're not going to say much except for you to look at what it is. If you know, you know, because this is a game that is out, but it made an impression on young Julie Coop here. Young Julie Coop.
It's called Arctic Eggs.
And this is a full session of you dominating.
I cooked an egg.
Yeah. Phil is so nasty.
And that's that. Cooked a cigarette.
So yeah, we went back and we both played new stuff. I think I played, because you had played Milizione. Yeah, this is the same day. You had played Milizione in the morning, and I was like, I want to play it because
you went back and played it.
It can be different every time. And you played Arctic Eggs and something else. Trollu.
I was trying to think of the name.
Another game that's not out, but the demo's been out, and it is a game where you are a bus driver, and you just are the most chaotic bus driver.
This is fun and wacky one.
You're kicking people off, literally. You're having it. Well, the thing I really like about it is you're taking people's money, and then you're having to like actually go down, grab the ticket, grab the change, exact change, bring it back, you know. And so I always love a game like that.
You have to make change. You have to like check their bus passes, see if it like matches their face, if it's expired. You have to like swipe their credit card if they're paying that way.
There's a demo available for that, and definitely check it out because it's a roguelike, so it's meant to kind of go back and back.
It's pretty fun.
Fern really wanted to get a photo of one of these because they had a few of these across. This is actually one of the better ones because it's like it is. The other one is weird. So this one says on me, exactly, Bradley. I almost had Fern play it on the bus afterwards because it was on the Steam Deck, and they were like, they're gonna look at me weird, like I'm kicking people off the bus.
You're literally kicking people like straight in the chest. They're gonna think I'm gonna do that for real.
And so this one says on me. We always drop in that. Yeah, we always drop in. Yeah, fish across the map all on his own. Before we continue, of course we're way over schedule.
I knew we would be.
The one that was like cringe that we saw was like, why don't you alt tab out of your real life and come join us at PAX West or something like that. And that one was a little rough. They had a few of those across the downtown Seattle area.
I thought they were fun.
Day 3,
halfway there.
This one we didn't have as many photos, I think. We started out day 3 with Fallen Tier, I gotta say it again, gamers, another game where I was playing through that thing and the dev was watching me the whole time and was like, wait, what the fuck? You beat that boss already? Like, wait, whoa. Did you first try that guy? And I was like, What can I say? And I beat it, and he again said, like, that's probably the fastest a media person beating this demo.
Hell yeah.
What can I say? I'm a gamer.
I think it was later this day, you were playing another game, and I told you, like, you're just, like, out here making games look good. Like, people walk by and, like, can see you playing it. And
I gotta
like,
be...
Whoa, I want to play that.
I gotta start offering my services as a demo player, where I just, like, make a game look really good, and I'm just, like, I pretend like I'm just, like, there, and then, like, I get people's attention, I go, oh, I'm done for now, and I back off, and then let them hop on.
Reel them in.
Exactly. But yeah, this Volunteer, the Ascension, the biggest thing here. Oi, Philippines! Oi! Filipino game dev. We got to meet with some of the people from the team, which was really cool, and interviewed. And again, article and such will be coming soon. It's so funny when you tell a Filipino that you're Filipino, they either think you know everything or nothing. And that was fun. That was, yeah, it was pretty early because we then went to meet with some people at the other building, came back, decided to have lunch, and we didn't even know about this. So it was this really like decent food and like healthy food place, like tucked away in the building we were in. And so we had a little barbecue chicken bowl from there. We both got nice, like all natural ingredients smoothies. Yeah, so I had a dreamsicle smoothie that had some mango and orange in it and had that kind of dreamsicle vibe.
Mine was like PB&J vibes, had like peanut butter and berries and stuff. It was delish.
Hell yeah. So that was really cool. Good. That was probably like the best meal we had on the show floor.
The food was like okay. It wasn't my favorite.
I liked it.
Taste. I don't know. But it was like much needed, like
it was like
healthy stuff.
And it was
like brown rice.
A good
lettuce
portion too.
Yeah.
Like, for the price. Like we paid like the same for like a turkey sandwich.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to try the enchiladas there, but you were like, we gotta get whatever's fast.
Because we were like, our next appointment was coming up.
I know.
And our next appointment was Arcane Eats, if you remember from Summer Game Fest, a game that we were really excited by. Cooking, roguelike deck builder, blending. Yeah, PB&J smoothies are the bomb.com. Good thing I don't have link blocking. Matt would have been blasted into the sky. Arcane Eats. Again, coverage will be coming, so don't want to say too much. Julie was taking lead on this one again. Really cool. The dev team is local, and it's a husband and wife team, which is really cool. They both come from WB. They both worked at the studio that made Shadow of War, which is really cool. And demo's good. Demo's fun. This was like, there was like a little like stress because like someone else had an appointment right after us, and we had an appointment with the publisher, and we met with them and talked with them, and then we came over here and we're like, hey, you're the developer, do you have time to chat? And she was like, yeah, and then we chatted, and then another guy showed up, and we're like, but it was all good. We made it through in the end. But Arcane Eats, look forward to coverage coming soon. We have some coasters from them.
Yeah.
You could see those. Next game we played was when we had stopped by and checked out. They were the neighbors to Stars of Icarus. And this is from Gaggle Games or Gaggle Studios, I believe. You might know them from Goose Goose Duck, which is an Among Us like. And what's the other game? I can't remember right now. It's fine. We don't need it.
I don't know.
It's fine.
Okay.
This is Dumpster Divers, and it is a little chaotic kind of run-based multiplayer game where you play puppets who just got fired from the public access show that airs on, if you can see on this billboard, IBS. We got just fired from that, so we're out on the streets, and we literally have to dumpster dive to try to make enough money to get back into the good graces of the IBS people and get back on TV. Yeah, all the music and sound effects are beatboxing. The demo was very short. It was a 3-minute run. But it was single player, even though the full game is a 4-player multiplayer kind of thing. Yeah, it's too real, right? Yeah, having to make your money back. But really fun. Chaotic energy. We got to literally dumpster dive. They had like a trash can that had the irritable bowel syndrome guys. Exactly. They had a little trash can where you pulled out little plastic trash cans, and then you either got a button or you got a key to the game, which is really cool. Yeah, fun. Gonna be the kind of thing that probably you'll see here on the stream. Probably, honestly,
could be.
Love the Muppet energy. And then we went over and played Unsent, which is another one we got an email from, and was like, we'd love to check it out. Kind of packed our schedule already. Had free time, wandered over and checked it out. Yeah, got your first Steam key, right? This is a Psychonauts inspired puzzle platformer. This is me trying to air out my sweaty hands. You can see I'm swaying because my feet hurt. You are Valentine, and you just got fired from the back-breaking office, and you are now working at the unsent letters department. And your job is to deliver these unsent letters. These are things like, confessions of love that never got sent. Right? Exactly. We did that so much. Confessions of love that never got sent. Things that, words left unsaid between like a son and a father or whatever. These kinds of things that people write out but just never actually send. So you go in there, and each level is kind of focused on you delivering a message to someone, delivering that letter. And so it's kind of very like that Psychonaut style where, yes, there is some trauma. And another Dead Letters game. Yeah, there is some trauma. There is trauma here. But this is sweet. This is not scary like that one. Dead Letter Department. And yeah, each level's themed around like what that person went through, and you trying to like get through to them, right? By like traveling through their trauma and get this letter sent to the right person. And it's just a jolly time. We got to chat with I think it was one of the producers on the game while we were waiting to play it. And yeah, I'm super excited. I think there's a demo for this on Steam, right?
I think so. And I want to check this one out too, because this is the kind of one where it's like, it's not like enough in my wheelhouse that I'd feel comfortable playing it like with a monitor out facing to everyone. This is the one I was talking about, where like this is facing out to the room, and I was like, Nate, you're just like making everybody look good, because like people were stopping to watch his actual gameplay.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah, but I do want to check this one out too.
Yeah, it was a good demo, and I'm excited for that one. And I think it comes out October, so it's coming very soon.
Nice.
So it's really cool. Look at me sway. Trying to get some relief. You can look at, I'm not only swaying, you can see me going because I'm trying to get sweaty palms aired out.
That's just PAX, baby.
We stopped by and played this game called the Boo Crew, which they called a 4-player co-opetitive game where yes, you are like cooperating, but there are like winners and losers, and so you can like fuck up your friends. It's essentially the way they would describe to us is like as if you take Mario Party mini games and you flesh them out, so they're much longer mini games, and then you have to do a certain task. It takes like several minutes versus like 30 seconds. The one of the ones I can remember that we played was like it was like inspired by Alien, and so you're on a spaceship, and there's like these like monitors and screens that you go up to, and then you hit A, and then you have to put in a up down down left, and then you did that screen, and try to do as many of those as you can until the escape pods arrive, and then you get out, and that's whoever does the most screens wins that round. And so yeah, again, you're kind of working together, but you can kind of fuck people over if you want to get the more points for that round. Yeah, it sounds really fun. Yeah, I could see. So yeah, Four Swords, Monaco vibes. Yeah, it was pretty fun, and it was a good way to get off our feet for a bit.
Yeah, that's a cute one.
Yeah, this is where we stopped and had a chat about the Borderlands chaos. We just saw some open again. It's towards the end of the show, and it's like, what do you want to do? I don't know. Let's find something open and go check it out. I played Fighting Force 2, which is a series I'm not that familiar with, and had a really it's a really interesting game. It's like tank controls, and it's kind of a beat 'em up. But what I thought was really funny is like the character himself was just kind of like, let's just beat shit up. Like you literally like break everything you possibly can in the environment. And then you checked out Shantae, which is a series that has been ongoing for quite a long time. I remember you were having some fun with it, right?
It was pretty fun. It's very fan servicey.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, it's not like totally up my alley, but it was a fun way to kill time. A lot of it was like very like what do you call it? Like exposition.
Yeah, there's a lot of lore.
Yeah, there's just like a lot to read, kind of more than I was expecting for a demo like that. But
yeah, it's funny. We were talking about it in the moment. I was like, yeah, this is known to be a pretty fan servicey series. But I was thinking, I was like, it is interesting though, because like I bet some little girl got a Game Boy Advance and was like, oh, this looks cute, and played it, and then it's like very fan servicey, but then like maybe that awoke something in there. But yeah, that was a fun little just like break in the day. And that's right. We were waiting. We were kind of like killing time before our final appointment, which was to go over to Shueisha Games, where we played Opus Prism Peak and Atmosphere. Again, don't want to say too much, but Opus Prism Peak is kind of a almost like Studio Ghibli movie meets photography game. You're doing puzzle solving by taking pictures. This was cool because we both got to play. They like made sure that they had enough stations for us to both check it out. This was where we saw Remy again, because Remy was just kind of looking, but maybe wanted to check it out. And then like they're like, "Sorry, we have to get media in here." And then Remy was like, "Oh, just let them go. Like they're good." That was funny. But yeah, we both got to play. Hello, Mad Rat.
Welcome.
Both got to play this and had a good time. Again, coverage will be coming, so await the full breakdown.
Yeah.
Atmosphere is a really cool one. Swedish development team, survival crafting game. Inspired. The way it was told to me was, imagine it's like Subnautica, but instead of going deeper, you're going higher. Mm-hmm. So you're constantly moving upward through this kind of like sky village of floating rocks and stuff. The thing that's really cool to me is the kind of like scaling on this one, where this giant ship is like your base and it comes with you, but then you get in a little ship that's in the hangar, and then you take that out, and then you find a medium ship out there, so it's like kind of like this Russian nesting doll kind of thing. That's really fun. Again, more to come on that one.
Remind me, is that a single player?
No, four players.
4 players.
So this is photo from the next day because we forgot to get one on the day.
Yeah.
But this is Obacadero 2, a little fun hide and seek, kind of like a more chill version of Dead by Daylight, kind of more accessible version of Dead by Daylight, where there's one monster and then 3 people, and they're trying to they just try to stay away. They try to stay safe, and then the monster's trying to capture them all. Mm-hmm. Short demo again. This is like a 3-minute session. This was one of the first times we really got to see someone else who was feeling the PAX crunch, where the person that did the demo session with us was so tired, so done. The best way I can exemplify it is like they hand you the like controls like printed out, and which is really cool. Like some demos you just sit down and you're like, okay, I'm figuring this out, I guess.
Yeah.
But they're like, here, and it's like, it's not just controls, it's like, here's what your goal is as this person, and here's what you got to do. So they hand us that, they sit us down, we hand that back to them, and then they go, cool, they get us the controllers, and then she like picked them back up and was like, you guys want to see the controls? And I was like, bestie, we're good. We gave you that. And we played the demo, and it was fun.
It was fun. This is one that like we were getting emails about it, and I was like, I feel like this could be something for us, like, you know, that we would be into it, but I wasn't totally sold, but I'm glad we stopped and got to play it. Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah. So and it was just us, sadly, because it was like towards the end of the day and like no one was there anymore. And so like it was just us with AI, which was kind of a bummer.
It would have been more fun with a full party. But
wait.
Yeah, it was still fun.
Unmute briefly. The final day of PAX.
Just for that bit, bro. I just realized you haven't had the music on this whole time anyway.
Let's bring it back. We started our day back in the PAX Rising area here on the final day to check out a new game. Brand new, first time shown on the show floor. Yes, zoom in, Julie. It is Terrible Lizards.
Yeah. Thanks, past me.
Terrible Lizards is a first-person horror parkour platformer. It is coming from WDR Studios, who is made up of the people behind JD Music. Is that right?
I think.
Which is a YouTube channel that is known for doing remixes and like original music based on like big JT music. JT.
There we go.
So like the famous Five Nights at Freddy's song is from this YouTube channel, which is wild. Yeah, they're making a game now. And so obviously there is some aspect of mascot horror, as you can see here. But the thing that I thought was really cool about this is that it's not just mascot horror, it's got creature horror too. So it's kind of blending the modern kind of trendy indie horror with the classic, you know, Dino Crisis, Resident Evil vibes. Again, that's all I'm going to say because
bro,
that's all I'm going to say because we are going to cover that. And it's a really exciting one. And I might actually talk about it a little later. This is the photo Julie used to make fun of me.
And it was deserved.
Because it was an accidental photo. But we went over to Black Lantern Collective. Again, don't want to say too much about this. Maybe I'll skip it, honestly, because I have a decent amount of footage. But this game that we checked out is called Children of Saturn. You know what? We're gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it at that because Fern may be talking about this later. What I will say is Black Lantern Collective is VGG rules.
Okay.
Yeah, Justin Herbert's killing it right now, and the Chargers might win against the Chiefs with this Super Bowl perennial Super Bowl player, guys.
Let's go.
Chargers just locked it up. Hell yeah. Okay, so Black Lantern Collective is a studio, brand new studio. One of the Dread XP founders, right, has broken off and is doing his own publishing house now for indie horror. And we stopped by their booth because there were some games that we didn't even know about that were here, and that was one of them. And maybe we'll talk about it later. But we also checked out Soviet Spooky Tales, Green Eyes. Which you played, and just looks like it's like a really eerie visual novel.
Yeah, horror visual novel.
It was focused on this like green vinyl and its mysterious ways, and then you play it, and then spooky things happen. Do you want to say anything else about that before it cuts away?
No. I mean, what you just said covered it. It like ended at sort of the cliffhanger where it's like just getting spooky, so yeah. I don't have too much more to say, but it was cool.
And I checked out Nightmare House Reimagined or Reinvented or something. Don't remember right now off the top of my head. but also might be a game I'm going to be talking about here in a little bit, so I'm not going to say too much. But very cool. And then our final appointment of the entire show was War of the Western Deep, which is a cool little adventure game that's inspired. It's actually built around the world of Beyond the Western Deep, which is a webcomic that is very much a blend of like classic like Disney Robin Hood vibe of anthropomorphic characters, but then has this kind of darkness to it that's like reminiscent of the Redwall series is one that was brought up a lot. And then yeah, they had all kinds of cool merch here, including a SNES cartridge of War of the Western Deep. I was like, that I really want one, but like I'm not like in this world. You know, if they still sell those later and I do love this game, like I'd buy one because that's pretty sick. I'm curious if it's an actual SNES cartridge, and then if is there a game that it's like wrapped around?
Yeah, I don't know.
But cool. Yeah, again, coverage will be coming about this one. It is a point and click adventure vibe, but then there is like a whole other side of this, which I believe the next shot will show. Not this one, the next one, Nate, which is a kind of like turn-based active combat punch out ish. You know, you dodge out of the way of moves and then you slash when you can. So there's kind of that two sides of the coin there in this game. And of course, we can't finish this year's PAX without going back to Critical Reflex once again.
Catch us at Critical Reflex.
I really wanted to go back and play this because they did not say this was going to be there or anything, and it is not playable online at this point. It's called Karimata, which you may have seen in some previous events. It is this like horror card-based thing where the reason there's cards involved is the character cannot speak. He's mute. And so he uses magic to like take things from the world and turn them into cards and then show those cards to people to communicate. And it's got a really good vibe. It's a really kind of a vibe setting demo. I had a frustrating thing happen where every time I push shift, the demo would just restart. And so I restarted the demo like 3 times, which was annoying because I kept losing the vibe, you know? But a really cool demo and a really cool game to keep an eye out. Karimata. It's me with my little cards. And then at this point, I think you came back and played Drowned Lake because Drowned Lake has the way that game works is there's three different characters. And so we were like, okay, how different is it when you play as someone else?
Because Nate picked one that was like a reporter, and then I picked one that was Fisher, like an older man, and he had a dog, so I had a little dog companion, and that affected the gameplay a little bit too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty cool.
We bought this mouthwash keychain, which was really cool.
It was fated to be. We had to pay in cash. It was cash only. We literally had the exact amount between the two of us.
Yeah, I was like, I have $6, and you're like, I have $2. So it was meant to be. Mouthwashing. We have Berber and Fry. This was weirdly one of the most satisfying meals to end it.
Yeah, kind of hit.
This is for you, Fish. Does this do anything for you?
How does this make you feel?
Does this do something for you? We stopped by the Tarkov booth and got Fish some merch.
Because we're really good friends.
Tarkov! Yeah, they had a Tarkov Arena playing the whole time. Yes, it does do something for Fish. Towards the end, we went over to the Games from Poland area where they have a bunch of different games, and we checked out this game called The Looter, which is like kind of a side-scrolling Metroidvania vibe where it's really slow and methodical, and the whole point is like you're gathering up stuff and crafting, making, you know, weaponry out of junk.
We also wanted to play that one Sacrifier and didn't quite get to it. It
looked like a long demo, and we were, you know, trying to get our last things. So this is a game I've already played.
Fish, it's Blocks for Boobies.
It's Blocks for Boobies. This is a game I had already played the demo of. One of the devs had reached out to us, but, you know, again, can only schedule so much. But I wanted to come back and check it out. So it is Tetris, but you can see some of the blocks have like a red aura around them, and it's because after a certain amount of time playing Tetris, you can cut into a first person view and it becomes Doom, and you're fighting the blocks and destroying them. And so it becomes this interesting back and forth strategy of, okay, how do I want the board to look? Let me go back and in the shooting area, shoot down some of these blocks to clear out some junk that I messed up, and then keep going. Yeah, so it's Tetris plus Doom. And we got to chat very briefly with one of the devs and be like, hey, yeah, I just wanted to stop by and check it out. I'm so excited. Like, it's really cool. He was talking about how exciting it is for people that don't know anything about the game to play, and then they're playing the Tetris part, and then it transitions into Doom, and to see them be like, huh? You know, like freak out over it. That was really cool.
And it did have some new additions from when you had played. So that was good.
The demo has been continually updated, and it's a roguelike, so you can really get a lot of mileage out of it if you want to go check it out on Steam right now. And they're constantly updating it, and they said, yeah, there is some stuff in this build that is not in the currently available demo, but will be added presumably soon. But yeah, really fun. And then we came over here and we had a really nice chat with this lovely person named Harrison, who was helping run the booth, not the dev. We did chat with the dev as well. Played this game called Rogue Eclipse, which is like Star Fox inspired dog fighting, but it's not Star Fox in that it's like a linear, like you're moving forward. It's you are full control of your ship, and you stop in these systems. You do battle until you're free to go on to the next system. Heard that like no one's only like what, like they said only a few people were able to beat the demo on the show floor, if that.
Yeah, I feel like if I'm remembering right, I overheard them saying like they saw someone almost beat it that day. So I don't know that anyone actually did.
Well, I got to the third system, and then that's where my choke point was. It was very funny because you pick your like loadout and everything, and the dev came up and was like, the railgun's a bold choice, and I'm like, huh? What? And I pull my headphones off, and he goes, no, you stay locked in, and he puts the headphone back on my ear, and I was like, oh, okay. And then tells Julie like, yeah, the railgun's a bold choice. And
I was like, I don't know.
And I was pulling off some cool moves, but I could not, break through. Had a fun time with it. Had a chat with the dev afterward.
Yeah, they're cool people over there.
Yeah, that was a fun one. Very humble, very humble. I remember tried being like, this is really cool. And he was like, hello, worm. We didn't play this. This is one of those that was kind of missed, which was Astroneer, the new Astroneer game. It's not replacing Astroneer. It's not a second. It's not a sequel to Astroneer. It is its own game in the Astroneer world. They really want to make sure that's clear. The thing I thought was interesting about their booth, it seems that before you play the demo, you have to come over and have an orientation with one of the booth members who kind of walks you through what you might expect from the game. Just a really cool. They were just kind of showing off some of the bigger booths that had more theming, some of the bigger budget booths over here.
This was like last day. I was like, what else can we do? Let's just like grab
some video. Switch to third party area that just has a bunch of different games. And then as we're leaving, as we're actively coordinating with Bradley Rose to get Jollibee hand delivered by Bradley to our hotel, we're walking by this area, and you can see them very briefly in here. These jolly folks here waiting here are like, hey, you want to come in?
Come on.
Want to play Pokemon Legends? And they stop, and I stopped and I said, I kind of do, but I might be busy. I need to figure something out. And so I'm actively like, we're messing with Bradley.
This is happening as we're like telling you like what to order.
And that's kind of why we were like, we were kind of like asking you how long it might take, because we were like, okay, I do want to do this, but if we don't have the time, we don't have the time. And then we asked how long the demo is, and then we're like, okay, I think we can do it. And so we got in line to check out Pokemon Legends Z to A. which was really cool. I have a full write-up that I can post wherever you want me to post it.
I know you didn't even post it in our
I know.
Discord.
I wrote like 1,000 words about it, just casually, for some people that are interested in it. But it's very different from what the one thing I will say for those that are here right now, very different from anything Pokemon I've ever played, even vastly different from Arceus, because it is not technically turn-based. The combat is fully active now, where each of your Pokemon's moves are on a cooldown, and so you just send moves out whenever they're available. It's kind of reminiscent of like some people have called it similar to Xenoblade Chronicles and some MMO like games that are out there, and I tend to agree. There's a full boss fight it was like a 2-part demo. I'll take pride in the fact that I was able to get through the first part. Like towards the end, you have to fight 3 trainers in the first part of the demo, and towards the end they're like, okay, I think you have time to do the 4th one if you want to go over to this area. And I was like, oh, nice. Like, not everyone's getting to the 4th trainer
because he's so fast. He's such a gamer.
But then they literally put that 4th trainer in to like fucking school you. he's meant to be like a few ranks higher than you. That's the game, is you go from trainer rank Z to trainer rank A, and I think he's like Y or X, and he's like, they just wanted to show like how different the level is between a Z rank and even just one above. And yet he one-shot me, all my Pokemon. They did say 5 people were able to beat it. Someone, I was like, how?
Whoa.
And they were like, oh, they just kind of cheesed it. They like use, Thunder Shock, and that stunned them, and then they were able to like just do a bunch of other moves and just keep stunning them. And I was like, okay, wow, Jesus. Okay, there's got some gamers out here. Then the second phase is a big old boss fight, which you can kind of see off to the left there, which is against a Mega Absol. Yeah, really fun. I'll put that somewhere. But PAX.
A little behind the scenes there. They won't let you take photos of the screen unless a person is in front of it.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
There was literally I saw someone on Blue Sky be like, they had to like put their face in the shot like a selfie because they would not let them. Yeah, you cannot take full screen images. You had to like have someone in the shot. You had to have a human in the shot. We'll pull them up, but yeah, that was our PAX. And then we met Bradley after that.
Did we take photos of the Jollibee?
We took a picture of the bag.
We did, yeah.
And then
I don't think we took pictures of the food.
We just ate it.
We just that shit was down the hatch.
PAX c'est fini. Let me see if I can pull these images in real quick just to wrap up fully. I don't know why I just fully forgot to just bring in the photos of us meeting Bradley Rose. Wait, if I just do this. And then I go here. And then I do this. There you go.
Nice.
There's our Jollibee. Oh. And there's Bradley.
Wow.
We met Bradley.
Finally happened.
Hand delivered the Jollibee, and we would have hung out all day just chatting with Bradley, and it was so cool. And Bradley brought us gifts. We brought the lamest gift possible back for Bradley, which was the magic Spider-Man thing. They had daily bugles that you could take, and it has like a headline, blah, 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 but then on the inside it's like a play mat, which I thought was cool. And
it is cool.
But Bradley actually brought us goodies from. Bradley was in town and checking stuff out because he was checking out the Unbeatable pop-up. Come here, kiddo. And he brought us a cassette tape from that pop-up, and that was really cool.
Brad's the best.
And Jollibee, of course. Brad's the best. Truly was like, you guys can't leave without Jollibee, and made it happen, which is so cool.
Kind-hearted hero this city needs.
The King of Seattle.
The King of Seattle. Everyone's saying it.
All right. Do we want to just? We'll list off our some of the ones that are not the game of the show, just list briefly, and then dive into the game of the show a little more. Do you have a game of the show, or do you just have top games?